Yo, what's up, you guys? Meki LT here. Hope you all are having a wonderful day today. So we are officially a couple days post-merge, and as you can see, none of my rigs are currently running because nothing is profitable right now. But that's not the point of today's video. Today, we're going to be looking at the AC Infinity T16, and we'll be doing some testing on this guy to see how well it performs. All right, so I've already got the box cut open. Really didn't want to try doing that one-handed. I've seen Red Panda do that way too many times, and it does not look fun to attempt. So we got the manual right here. Let's see what else we got. It's like we got the, oh, there goes the manual down there. That's unfortunate. This looks like it's the controller for the fan itself. Got some mounting hardware, it looks like. Take this out and put it down here by the manual. All right. Yeah, these things are well packaged. I'm really impressed with these. My last video, I looked at the S14, I think, and that was very well packaged. There's foam in all the corners and everything, so shouldn't be any damage in shipping at all. Yeah, just tough to do. I'm like attempting to use my thighs right now to hold it down in place, but yeah, giant chunks of foam holding it in place. This thing isn't going anywhere. There's gonna be no damage to it, but I'll finish unpackaging this guy and I'll get it out and get it set up for the testing. So before I got this all set up for testing, I just kind of wanted to do an initial reaction / review on the condition that this thing came in. I'll post a link to my last video that ended up covering some shutter fans, but ended up getting a cheap one and compared it against a 14-inch AC Infinity, and the cheap one had like it had a bolt missing, and there's like pads under these to reduce vibration, and those things were all chopped up and everything, and just pieces everywhere. So yeah, this thing is coming. It's coming in good condition. It looks like this is a USB-C to talk with the controller essentially. I'm probably not going to be able to pick up the small writing right here, but it does say it's going to pull 100 watts max. So I'll end up plugging that into my meter box right here, and I can test that. And yeah, so this is the 16-inch fan. So I'll get it set up, and we'll see what kind of velocity we get out of it. All right, so I got the power cord plugged into my meter box up here, and I plugged in the USB-C to the controller right here. I just played around with it a little bit. It looks like there's 10 different speed settings for the fan itself. I put it all the way up to 10, and it moves some serious air. But yeah, I'll turn it up to 10 right now and see how many watts this thing pulls. And get a good baseline for that and compare it to what it claims it can pull for wattage. Yeah, this thing is pretty loud on its maximum setting. So it does say 70 watts. I don't know how accurate this meter box is though. I think it's kind of sus. I've done a little bit of testing with it already. I might actually try to use my my kilowatt meter right here and try it at the wall. So I'll test that next and see what it actually comes out to. So I got this thing on its highest setting right here. You can see it's on 10. I'm pulling 70 watts on the meter box. Let's go and check it over here at the kilowatt meter. It's super dark here in the corner, so I have to turn the light on my camera on. Hopefully we'll be able to pick it up. Yeah, so I got 71 watts, something like that. So they do match each other, and I just wanted to confirm that the kilowatt meter here does in fact match the meter box over here, because I did think that this guy was kind of sus and I thought it was about 10 watts off, but I guess that's not the case. Yeah, so I just ended up looking through the manual really quick, and I didn't see anything in this about like a power saving mode or whatever, so I think it's safe to say that this is pulling 70 watts, because that is what I measured here at the meter box and over there at the kilowatt meter. So I think it's a safe bet with two devices confirming the same wattage that it's pulling. But next I'll get this thing turned up to 10 again, and then I'll use my handy dandy anemometer right here, and I'll start measuring velocities coming out of it. All right, you guys, so I'm at the computer, and we can start processing the data that I measured from the testing that I did on the 16-inch AC Infinity fan. So I've already gone through how to run these calculations in a couple of previous videos, so I'm just going to run through this really quick. I'm not going to be as in-depth, but what we're looking at is the volumetric flow rate, and it's just simply the area of the fan times the velocity that I measured coming out of the fan. We had the diameter of the fan 16 inches divided by 12 inches to convert it to feet. We get 1.33 feet. Square that, multiply it by pi, divide the whole thing by 4, and then we get 1.39 square feet for the area of the 16-inch fan. And then I measured the velocity coming out of the fan at 7.8 meters per second, converted a couple of times to get it into feet per minute, and then we get 1535.4 feet per minute, and that is just going to be the area times the velocity, and then we get 2132.1 cubic feet per minute, or CFM, and this is using the maximum velocity that I measured coming out of the fan. And then we'll move to the next slide. We'll calculate the testing error for the CFM that I just calculated. So again, I've already run through this in a previous video, so I'll go through it pretty quick. But percent error is just the measured value, or what I calculated from testing, minus the expected value. This is what the manufacturer says they can get for CFM, and then divided by the expected value times 100. And then these brackets right here is going to be an absolute value. Otherwise, I would have a negative number times 100. So just simply pop in the numbers. It'd be 2132.1 CFM minus 2560 divided by 2560. Absolute value of that times 100. And we get 16.71%. So this is on the same order of what I was getting for the 14-inch AC Infinity that I calculated in my last video. However, keep in mind that this is the maximum value coming out of the fan at the outside diameter, whereas I think it was 15 or 16%-ish in the last one was using the average velocity coming out. The average is going to be lower. So we'll take a look at the average that I got out of this, and then I'll have a little bit of a discussion about why I think it makes sense towards the end of the slides right here. But again, just run through the volumetric flow rate equation, area times velocity. I get 1804.3 CFM using the average velocity coming out of the 16-inch fan. And then running the percent error calculation, I get 29.5% using the average velocity. And then I'll move to the summary page right here. And this is just to summarize everything that I calculated. But what I really want to focus on is the 29.5% for the average CFM percent error that I just calculated on the last slide. So in the testing, I measured with the kilowatt meter and on my meter box. They were both measuring approximately 70 watts at the wall when the fan was up at its highest setting on 10. And then AC Infinity advertises 100 watts that the fan does pull. So if I go back to the last slide, if we ran like a percent error on the 70 and the 100, this would be 70 minus 100 divided by 100 times 100. It's going to give us a 30% error on the wattage that the fan is pulling at the wall. So I think it's kind of interesting that my percent error that I got was 29.5%, and then percent error on what the fan is actually pulling at the wall is 30%. So they're only 0.5% off. So if I had to guess, if the fan were pulling its maximum 100 watts, the motor would be spinning faster, essentially. Therefore, it would be pushing out more CFM, and therefore it would actually reduce the percent error that I calculated for the average that I had coming out of the fan itself. So what I'm going to do moving forward, I'm going to shoot AC Infinity an email and see if either I got like a defective fan unit or something like that, and I'll ask them and see what they say about it. But I'm guessing if it was pulling the full 100 watts, then this percent error on the average CFM that I measure coming out of it would be significantly lower. So I'll do some more testing and some more videos coming up, I guess, but this is going to wrap up this video right here. So if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please like this video and subscribe so that way you can see when my next videos come out, and hit the notification icon, and you guys will be notified when it comes out. And thanks for your support so far, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.